welcome back to my channel and to today's video. So in this video I'm actually going to be looking at some watercolours that were gifted to me. Cyane from Cyane Ink has kindly sent me some very nice finished watercolours to try. So I'm really excited to be trying these. From what I'm understanding from Cyane, these are more student grade paints, but I'm still looking forward to trying them. They look a little bit like artist loft colours in a way, because they've got the cake pans. But yeah, I'm really excited to try these. I have no idea what I would call these. Apparently the colours, by the looks of it, are printed, like stamped onto the colour. I'll show you a closer look at these in a moment. But on the back it says, I'm going to butcher this and I'm really sorry to anybody who's Finnish. This is Vestivareja Akvarellfarger Wennstrom Watercolours. I want to say maybe that's where they're manufactured. But yeah, they're made in Finland, so yeah, it's going to be really interesting to try these. I've never tried Finnish colours before, so I'm looking forward to trying them. She also very kindly sent to me some chocolate. So this I'm really interested to try. It's vegan chocolate. I think this one's actually made in Germany, because at the bottom it's got mint bourbon vanille, so probably a German chocolate, and it says at the back as well, German address, so I think this is a German chocolate, but still very nice, and I've not seen this in the UK, so be really interesting. I don't think there's a UK ingredients list on the back either. You've got a Norwegian, a Dutch, and a Swedish, and a Danish translation. Oh, actually I think there is an English one underneath the Finnish sticker, so it'll be interesting to see what it tastes like. I'll try some in a second. And she's also sent me these. So these are called Puma. They look like little pastels. In English it actually says they're actually salted licorice. So I'm going to try those and see what they taste like. I think first we're going to try the chocolate. I think it might be a safer bet. So I've got a little bit of chocolate here. Let's try and see what this tastes like. That's really nice chocolate actually. You can tell that it's not got dairy in it because it's kind of tastes a little bit different. It's not as milky or as creamy, but it's still a very nice chocolate. You can really taste the vanilla in it too. So now we're going to try the Puma. So salted licorice. I do like licorice, but I know some EU countries, like I've tried Dutch licorice before, and that's really, really strong. So I'm a little bit nervous on what this tastes like. It's a little pink thing. Let's give it a go. It's hard, oh, it's crunchy. That's a weird taste. It's strange. It's kind of crunchy and tastes nothing to start with, and then the more you chew it, the more the licorice comes through. You can start tasting it a bit more. And it's getting very strong out of the licorice. It actually tastes quite nice. I quite like the taste of it. Oh, oh, it's a bit rough at the end. But yeah, at the start of it was really nice, but a little bit rough at the end. But yeah, I'm going to leave Cyane's links down below in the description bar, and make sure you go check out her channel and her Instagram. She does some really great art stuff and some really nice live streams on Sundays. But yeah, these are really tasty, and I can't wait to try the watercolours. So first of all, thank you Cyane for sending me them, and let's get stuck in. So let's take a closer look at the set, and this is it. It's quite a cute, neat, compact set. The colours are in cake form, and you can see that here, and they're all stamped with the Wennstrom logo, which is a nice touch. And yeah, it's just a great little set featuring the 12 colours. The lid also does double up as a small mixing palette as well, which is really helpful, so you don't need a separate palette with these if you don't want one. And here is a close look at those pans with that stamp on them. So let's try them out and swatch them on some watercolour paper. If you've not seen me before, as a quick rundown, I paint really concentrated swatches of colour at the top of each square. I try and get the highest saturation that I can, and then I blend it out with clear water throughout the rest of the square. I feel this shows me what the colour looks like at its most concentrated and at its most diluted. You also get an idea of how the paint flows and moves within the water. Some paint brands and some pigments are really reactive to water and some are not, so this is a really good test to do to try that out. And we also get to see what the colours look like. As often with watercolours, the colour you see in the pan or on the tube does not always reflect what it actually looks like when you paint it. The pans did take a little bit of work to get them producing nice colour. Pans like this I found in the past have definitely taken a little bit of scrubbing or a little bit of pre-soaking to get a good strong colour out of them. This is just because of the nature of the paint. They're fairly dry cakes, but once you do get them really nice and wet, you get a really nice colour result from them, and the colours do look pretty strong. Given the nature of this set, there are no pigment information, and you just have to go over all the colour names you have. Cyane was very kind and left me a note with translations for the colour names. I've included just the English ones on these for everybody, and I have also put this scan of this colour chart over on my Patreon page if you did want to see that in more detail. So let's take this on a road test and do an illustration. So let's take them on a road test and try them out. I have tried similar paints to these before from an English brand, and paints like this tend to be a little bit chalky and behave a little bit like gouache, and this is also true for the Wennstrom colours. However, they were really nice to paint with. They didn't feel too chalky to paint with, and I felt the colours were pretty nice. There was definitely a gouache-like feel to them, and you do have to keep this in mind with painting. Either you have to dilute them down quite a lot to get a nice wash, or you have to paint with them thickly is the best way to paint with them. There was quite a drying shift, and this resulted in needing a couple of layers of paint to get a really nice strong colour concentration on the page. That wasn't too much of a problem. These paints did layer and glaze pretty nicely, so no issues there. I felt the colour selection was actually pretty good. There was quite a nice range of colours here for me to paint with. There was nice yellows, blues. I think there was even a magenta kind of colour in the set too. That's not something you see all the time with sets like this, so it's really nice to see that included. I do feel with the colour selection you could probably paint most subjects without too much difficulty, so there's enough here if you're just getting started in watercolours and need something helpful that's going to cover all your bases, and there's enough here to do that, so that's a really nice thing to have. Despite these not being artist grade paints, which is what I normally use to paint my illustrations with, I still had fun using them, and they didn't cause too many problems. I didn't feel like I was fighting the product too much. that is something I would say is one of the biggest differences between artist grade and student grade or dollar store grade paints. Some of the cheaper paints you can really fight against to get a good result. I didn't feel like I was fighting these paints too much, so I was able to achieve a nice result that I was happy with, and that's always a good thing. I always feel that a paint company or paint brand is always a good option if you don't have to fight the product too much to get good results. And of course, the biggest thing that sets us apart from artist grade paints or even good student grade paints is the pigment information. A good paint company will display the pigment information that is used in its paints, as it's really important for watercolour artists. Unfortunately, these don't display the pigment information, so we kind of just have to take it at colour name. So I wouldn't recommend using these if you want anything for any permanent work, just in case there are any colours in here that might fade over time. At this point, I thought the illustration was really starting to come together, and I was actually starting to really enjoy it. I also think it's pretty cute. I'm thinking about maybe doing some stickers or some postcards of the red panda. What do you guys think? Would you guys be interested in some stickers? Is that something you would like? Let me know down in the comments if you would want stickers or postcards or both, or if there's something else that maybe you would like to see this printed on. So I'm just starting to paint the background here, and I think that is one of the areas where you can see that these paints are not maybe on the same caliber as some student grade paints or some artist grade paints, which is expected. I think it definitely struggled a little bit more with large washes, such as I did in the background. The washes weren't quite as smooth or didn't flow quite as nicely as some other paint runs. Again, that is probably down to the formula of the paints. Cyane did say these are not the best quality of paints in Finland, so that is to be expected. But considering they didn't do too bad of a job, I got a nice colour in the end. It did take 2 or 3 washes, but I was pretty happy with the colour in the end. And you can see that it does really make the piece pop a little bit more. And there we go, that's the illustration all done, and these are the Wennstrom colours. I want to say thank you again to Cyane for sending me these to play with. They've been really fun, and the chocolate and the licorice were
delicious, even though the licorice may be a bit of an unusual taste. But I had fun with this one and it was really fun to play with. Let me know what paint brand you'd like me to see me try next and I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care, everyone, and bye bye.